One of my favourite games in the Pokemon series is Pokemon Black and White, and it is just mainly for the story, but I remember and played through more of the first games rather than the sequels. So I obviously have battled Alder more than Iris, and I'm gonna be honest, I prefer his team. But how does it fare up today? Well, we're gonna be finding out by playing Sword and Shield, and to make things even harder, slap on a couple of extra rules. But what's your favourite Pokemon champion? Let me know down below in the comments. And before we start, 80% of you guys are still not subscribed. I put a lot of love into these videos for your faces, and the goal is 20k. So if you do enjoy, it would mean everything to hit the subscribe button and ding dong the bell. But with that said, let's get gaming. So to start things off, none of the 3 starters really fit the bill. I mean, there's Phil Collins, a fire rabbit that people have a thing for, and a crying lizard. But I want to make this as physically difficult as possible. So I pick the monkey, name it Phil, and for the next hour or so, I go through the tutorial, battle, hop, get spooked by a big dog, and other bits and bobs. So let's fast forward a little bit. Keep going, keep going. Oh, go back a little. To this challenge, and I get the Dynamax band. So with you all caught up in like 30 seconds, I hop on the train to be able to get to Motorstoke for the opening ceremony. With Wooloo stopping us in our tracks, this is actually perfect because I get off the train, head through the wild area in search of our starter for the challenge. This being the Ice Cone Pokemon Vanillite, who we call Mr. Whippy, before arriving into the city. Once we get there, I organise my uniform number, this being 031, the episode number from the Black and White anime, then try to go and sleep. But can't because Team Yell are yelling. So I freeze their lips so I can actually have some peace and quiet. And the next morning, show my face to the stadium and the challenge begins. To be the very best, once again. I also grabbed the TM for round just for some coverage to take care of Hop's 3-man squad. And Wooloo gets lost in the icy winds. Sing to the Sobble and freezes Rookie D. And with Hop hopping away, I proceed onwards through Route 3 and arrive at the mines on the secondary task to catch another squad member. This being Timber, to which we caught and I called her Kenga, meaning fight in Japanese. And not only get demolished by trainers, but also beat. I swear, recently I've become so bad at Pokemon in general right now. However, I managed to level grind some more and was able to put a stop to Bede's plan. Somehow just taking this whole team out, so I can finally advance into Turffield to Incoming! I briefly encountered the grass-type gym leader and all, and he's nice. Just a little bit of a lost sheep. And after admiring his rather poor cut fields, I feel ready to finally challenge him. He starts with Eldegoss against Mr. Whippy. Huge icy winds take out his bouquet. This leaves his only other Pokemon, Eldegoss, with him Dynamaxing as well as ours, because I want to not only hit hard, but set the hail. Followed by stalling out the Dynamax turn, so when we do go down, Kenga can safely come out, hitting hard paybacks, and was enough to give us the win. Sweet. Next we're supposed to go to Hulbury, but I'm not doing that just yet. Because I decided after catching and releasing the Slowpoke like fishing, I take an overpriced Corviknight to the Isle of Armor. And after punting this Harry Potter wannabe, it's time to hunt for our next Pokemon. Bouffalant. I call him Mike Bison, before proceeding onwards to a never-ending battle against Team Yell. I didn't do anything for literally half an hour. I think I might have had a little snooze. Once I wake up, I eventually arrive at Hulbury, witness someone running around in boxes, and I attempt to flirt with the Water-type gym leader, which obviously did not work, just like Cynthia. So instead, I grab some more TRs in preparation for the battle ahead. From this point on, I grab Mario's hat and fix the pipes in the stadium before taking on the gym surfer. And boy oh boy, for a 3v3, I actually felt confident. She starts with Goldeen against Mike Bison, and with the focus energy set, I'm ready to put it in check. Eat a petty horn attack, and the fish was swept. I continue to wild charge, getting a critical hit on the Arrokuda, leaving a D-Max Dreadmore out from the pits. Our Buffalo receives a little gift, and a final wild charge does wee bit, before we go down to another big spit. Mr. Whippy is simply there to take some more crits, so Kenga grows big, and a grassy kick later makes a turtle go boom and quit. Sweet. Who am I to take orders from you? I enjoy some lovely seafood, bump into Hop, follow him into the mines to take on the one and only Bede. And, well, this time, get absolutely destroyed from Solosis. But Bison, on the other hand, was able to Fury attack every single squad member. And on top of that, Gengar evolved to Gerda. And that was the boost we needed because he literally takes all of the Team Yell grunts out of the cave. Eventually, I do bump into Kabu, the fire gym leader, and invites us to challenge in the morning, but before going to bed... Oh wait, plot twist, we're battling again! The frog takes a big fight, but we take it down. Scraggy instantly gets revenge, and Mike Tyson retaliates with retaliate. Anyways, we get bit, hit the super effective bulldoze, which slows it down. We still don't outspeed. We get bit again, but that's okay because another bulldoze secures the win. Get that fake Pikachu out of my face. So the next morning, after grinding out watts for Stone Edge, I indeed arrive at the fire gym, poo in my pants because one of the Fremon will completely melt. But I have a plan. Yes, Mr. Whippy is first against Ninetales. I know. Stupid, but hear me out. I set up the light screen, dodge the Will-O-Wisp twice, and chip followed by taunt, so when I do fall, Mike can hit the retaliate and get revenge. Arcanine is up and does intimidate, so I pivot to Kenga, get the burn, and survive long enough to do a lot of damage before going down again. Bison remains, get burnt again, and hint the retaliate and take it out thanks to a crit. This leaves a G-Max Center Scorch, who we follow the Growth Spurt, and a quad-effective Max Rockfall does over half. We hit the Senti Inferno very well, and second one actually secures the battle. You know what? I didn't expect that to work, but it did. So I get a nice smiling send-off from the 3 gym leaders and plot a course for our next destination. Whilst doing that, I grab a couple of more encounters, Shellmet called Suko, but to evolve him, I'm going to need a Carablast. So while I'm here, I grab one myself called Percival, and last but not least, whilst the sun is out, I find myself our ace, Larvesta. I named this one Soul, and with that said, we pretty much have the majority of the squad. So once I arrive at Hammerlock, I get given blueprints for the plant, but all I see is a simple plan. Hit that subscribe button if you are enjoying, become part of the Lunas, and ding on the bell so you don't miss another video. Anyways, I go shopping, get taught a history lesson in the vault, come out and Team Yell are clearly trying to pick on a little snake. So I send them running with my new team of Bogs, and continue my journey up the small town Stow-on-Side to battle Hop once more, and once more, Hop hopped away when my not very strong Bugs beat up Hop's, well, not very strong team, before doing last minute prep for the next gym. This one consists of a team of ghosts, but while I play through the mission, I want to let you know I do have a Discord server, so if anyone is looking to trade, battle, or simply hang out, check the link in the description and come chat with us. Once the mission was out the way, and Mr. Whippy evolves to Vanillish, now I'm just about as ready as I can be. Ah! A ghost! He starts with the arm mask against Mr. Whippy. Icy Wind does a huge amount of damage, whereas his brutal swing wasn't very brutal. He falls to Flash Cannon after. Cursor is next, so I set the light screen as he curses, before pivoting out to Mike Bison, take the engine power well, and a Throat Chop takes Pokemon number 2. Mimikyu goes on the field, and a Bulldoze slows it down, as well as the Disguise Drop. With the setup complete, I switch out for free to Baby Doll Eyes, reset the light screen for free, as he again goes for Baby Doll Eyes, before hitting hard Flash Cannons, taking out the Voodoo Doll. This leaves Gengar, who Gigantamaxes, and thanks to light screen, we max Darkness very well and slow down it with another Icy Wind, which also crits. Being able to hit another one before falling, so Mike Bison can come out in a Throat Chop to the chops, puts the Gengar to a stop. The 4th badge is ours and marks the halfway point for this gym challenge. Now guys, before we go any further, I think we're in a decent position to get some more evolutions in. So I traded with my good friend to tackle possibly the worst trade evolutions in any Pokemon game. So I now grab Excelgor and Excalibur. The Virgin exclusive for Swords, which is Rufflet. He is over level for now, so I can't use him. And also sort out my final stage evolution for Kenga, the now Conqueror. So now with officially a full team and a quaking Copperaja causing a scene, I send B down to the dumps with officially our new squad members. Suko gets his debut and absolutely pounces on his Duosion and hits hard on his Gothita, before Psybeam takes us out. Mike spawns to finish it off, as well as hit hard Stone Edges on the Hatchroom, and well conclude the match. B gets disqualified and we're clear to advance into the forest. I do spend a little more time catching up on the levels, as we are quite severely underleveled at this point, and once I arrive at the hidden magical town of Ballon Lee, I'm ready to take on the gym. This one I'll be using both my new Bogs, Soul and Mr. Whippy. Take on the audition stage, Very well. So this just leaves a very old and British version of Miss Darbus.
Was that a cell phone?
I swear, if no one understands that reference, then I'll be disappointed. She starts with Galarian wheezing against Mr. Whippy, and we hit hard exchanges, but I get poisoned. Sweet. A second flash cannon takes it down. Togekiss was next, and an icy wind gets to slow it down before a huge ancient power hurts and takes us out. Percival is out for his debut, and we get flinched once, though backwards and forwards we eventually knock the fairy out of the air. Marwile does intimidate, and the iron defense kicks in, which is bad because she asks her a question literally straight after. Sol comes out to flame charge twice to set the speed, take down the monstrous fairy, leaving her ace one big cake. We hit a critical flame wheel, and it burns too. We survive a G-Max finale, so we continue to waste the turns and fall to another one. So this leaves Suko. I Dynamax and Max Guard until it becomes Cream again before one more ooze destroys the mixture and we are somehow victorious. I was really worried about that one, and it wasn't a problem. Oh, I really don't want you following me. Upon returning to the village, old grandma wants to flirt with Bede, so I let her get arrested, and thus carry on to the other side of the region where I absolutely annihilate Hop and his new team. I mean, my squad are getting battered in places and that, but overall we're doing pretty well. So I travel through the harsh castle ruins of Route 8, grab some additional moves like Smart Strike, though Percival learns Iron Head straight after that, as well as Brick Break for Kenga. This will be important later. Anywho, I do further level grinding before eventually arriving at the gym. Hop lost, unsurprisingly, so this gives me a further lead. However, also nerves. Oh yeah, can I just say how much I hate this gym mission? It is the bane of my existence. However, I got there in the end and can challenge the Medicine Melanie. I send out Sol first against Frosmoth, and a quad-effective Flame Charge sets my speed but takes it down. Darmanitan is next, and I have to be slightly more cunning. I go for Leech Life because it does enough for a Flame Wheel afterwards to take it down with little trouble. Ice Cube gets hit with another Flame Charge which cancels out from Icy Wind, however we get a Flame Wheel in followed by one more Flame Charge to take it down, leaving her G-Max Lapras. I attempt to recover with Leech Life, however this was a lot less than I thought, and well, we get drowned by Max Geyser. I send out Kenga, by mistake, so we have to switch to Percival to deal with the blow. However, we take the resonance very well, to fall instantly on another big water beam. But now Kenga can come out, get hit by Sing, of all attacks. We don't wake up, but as we faint the Aurora Veil fades, which is perfect. So Mike grows big and buff, and a huge Max Lightning means I can't fall asleep, and even taking big ice moves, we knock the Loch Ness Monster out. And thus secures badge number 6. And there she was, Sonia just waited outside for moi. I get given food, and yep, Hop wants another thrashing. Again. And that's exactly what I do. I'll have you know, I'm actually a former champion of Unova. Without hesitation, I make haste down Route 9 and to the icebergs, beating up Team Yelgrons along the way. I couldn't get into Spikemuth until Marnie offered a helping hand. If I beat her, and considering he has an evolved one, Sol was able to absolutely destroy most of her team, and when we eventually fall to Scrafty, the burn gets too much. Oh, lovely. Mr. Whippy is out to get quick revenge and learns Ice Beam too, which is extremely helpful, but I do need to switch out on Morpeko and let Percival take it from there. Once I arrive at the gym, I sound on Suko, Percival, Kenga, and Sol, slowly but surely walking my way through the vampire town with no sunlight. We eventually arrive at the main stage to take on the Metalhead Peers. Here we go. Scrafty is out first for Intimidation, which is okay, but Fake Out hurts more than I thought. And a Giga Drain before Payback also hurts a lot, so I'm gonna have to build up. Percival goes for Sword Starts, Reversal after Brick Break, 1 down, but nearly 2 out, and Malamar equalizes the match. Suko returns to retaliate with a quad effective Bug Buzz, and can finally recover when Obstagoon is on the field. Oh no, I shouldn't have done that. Kenga is next, and expecting Obstruct, I'd get the defense drop, do a huge Brick Break, then as he obstructs again, I pivot up to Sol to instantly get thumped. Luckily, he goes for Shadow Claw instantly, which doesn't do a lot, and down the Obstagoon goes. Skuntank remains, poisons us, and we chip with Brick Break. Thankfully, it goes for another Sucker Punch, which does nothing, and we get a much better roll, survive the aftermath, and defeat the Dark-type gym. There remains one final gym leader, but before we challenge him, there is one final encounter we need to grab. And that is indeed Drodagon, who I named Nuri before returning to Hammerlock in preparation for the final gym. This one is in double battle form, however, so I need to be slightly more careful. And I do last little bits of prep before taking on the gym, and from battling the other Dragon Tamers in the tower, Mr. Whippy finally evolves to its final form, Vanilluxe, the best snow cone around. And the air is a chilly, unpleasant vibe when I meet Raihan the Weatherman. The Flygon outspeeds, and instantly reduces our attack with Break and Swipe. Not ideal, if I'm honest. And even though I take out the Dragonfly, I'm left on a whopping 2 HP from Body Press and the Sandstorm. However, I take both Weather Settlers out, so even though our Ice Cone melts to the Sandstorm, it's a 3v1. The Howl's Gigantamaxes and a G-Max Depletion leaves us barely hanging on 6. But a Hammer Arm and Revenge does huge damage, and my Buffalo Dynamaxes takes the Max Knuckle very well, and a Max Quake seals its fate. It's all done. We successfully grabbed all badges, and all that remains now is the Elite Four. And all was well because Sonia grabbed her lab coat, so lots to celebrate. So, with no time to waste, I grab a train on the final route and challenge my way through the capital, Winden, and choose my final team to last me through the entire game. I decide to ditch Zuko and Percival for Nuri, and our new feather friend Sam, eventually arriving at the stadium for the semi-finals. And first and foremost, it's Marnie, which again was pretty straightforward. A Torment set followed by Flame Charge for the speed boost, then Leech Life my life back. Scrafty is next, and I chip with Flame Wheel before the Swagger, though I stay in and hit a hard Leech Life. And as Scary Face lowers my speed, I put it back to normal with another Flame Charge, one more takes it down. A Zen Headbutt is lethal for the Toxicroak, and another Leech Life on the Morpeko is just too much. This left her Elf, who Gigantamaxes and does outspeed due to the speed drop, so we do unfortunately fall to the G-Max Snooze. But Mr. Whippy can finish the job by becoming a bigger snow cone, and a Max Steel Spike causes the Elf to, well, blow up. Next was Hop, and if I'm really honest, not much has changed since the last fight. Except the fact he absolutely obliterated me, from taking Soul out without breaking a sweat, and a super effective Zen Headbutt crits, and flinches. The next one missed at least, so he goes down. The Corviknight also gives us a lot of trouble. If I'm honest, this isn't looking good at all. Hammer Arm crits and takes us down, and Nuri takes another one, though Revenge finally gets it out. Pinchurchin falls to an Outrage, and by that it took 3 of them before he healed. And I had the worst rolls going, so when Inteleon comes out expecting Max Hailstorm, I switch out to Mr. Whippy to at least take it well. Followed by Max Geyser before setting up the screen, so with his job done and the Dynamax turns over, Kenga can come out to bulk up on Dynamax energy, and a Max Lightning Punch punts it out. Oh my god, that was ridiculously lucky. And that evening, Lee goes missing, so a search party with Team Yell is quite fitting. And although Oleon is playing Trickery, my Firebug did all the hitting. And just as they were leaving, we hosted a concert which was heaving and everyone was beaming. So with no one sitting, we ran to the tower to send the Marco Cosmos kicking. Floor by floor, we were out ripping, and there they were, just sipping tea and crumpets, but Oleana is in our way. So now it's time for sweeping. Okay, I'll stop. She starts with Frostlass against Sol, and a hard Hex does a bit of damage to us, but with Flame Charges, we take it down. I do need to pivot upon Milotic, so Mike gets the Surf, followed by Recoil from Wild Charge. Thanks to his stalling, we're a lot lower than I'd like, and Mike remains standing on 6 HP after Venoshock. Despite that, Earthquake takes down the Lizard, Serena comes out and retaliates with Acrobatics. Though Mr. Whippy instantly reacts and the Ice Beam does wonders. Garbodor remains in Dynamaxes, so I set up Acid Armor, taking the Malador well, Dynamax to simply protect, to waste the Dynamax turns, and take a Rockfall very well. So this means I can do one huge Hailstorm and take the garbage to the bins. Cool. I'm surprised these two heard none of that battle. With Leon collected, I arrive at the stadium the next morning to take on the final matches, though Bede wants to interrupt. And, well, that went well. Now then, where were we? Oh yeah, Nessa! Let's have a quick smoochie. Golisopod is up first against Kenga, and surprisingly, we outspeed to hit a hard Stone Edge, and Emergency Exit kicks in. Nice.
Nice.
Pelipper pivots in the battle, and after Tailwind, instantly gets KO'd to a T-Punch. So Golisopod comes back out, hits the rain boosted liquidation, and we connect another Stone Edge, which makes it 2 for 2. Barraskewda comes out and a liquidation crits. Well, this won't be easy. Sam gets his debut to basically stall and instantly falls. Well, I guess he did his job. To avoid the recoil, I Dynamax Mike early, eat another liquidation, my defense falls, and a Max Lightning takes out all the fishes in the sea. Dreadnought remains, Gigantamaxes, and a Rockfall does quite a lot more than I thought. Though we hit harder. My turns end, and a Max Darkness does indeed knock out my Buffalo. However, Nori can come out, just survive another critical hit, and a Revenge gets us the win. Mr. Alistair was next and starts with Dusknoir against Kanga, and we surprisingly outspeed on turn 1 but get slowed down to Rock Tomb, which I would be laughing, but it disables Payback. So I opt in for T-Punch instead and get it out. Chandelure comes out and we take a huge Shadow Ball surviving on 2 HP and connect a Stone Edge, so that 2 goes down. Poltergeist does end our suffering. Nori is out as it sets up Nasty Plot, so a quick crunch takes it out. Kessler follows, so this leaves one sneaky ghost. Hit a hard Max Ooze as we crunch back. And do fall to G-Max Terror, but Mr. Whippy can come out, set up the hail, max guard so the ghost goes back to normal, and a huge hailstorm fades it away. So that's the second battle done, and Sam, who had such a poor debut, evolves a Braviary. So I can actually use him. All in all, this left Raihan, and I led the Kenga once again against Torkoal, pray we hit the Stone Edge, which we don't, and take a huge Solar Beam. Not good. Thankfully, we take another one, and a third Stone Edge finally gets to Tortoise, although another one steps into play, thankfully miss until the last one crits, and a Shell Trap knocks us out. But the sunlight fades, which is nice, so Nori comes out in an outrage, and with the outburst, down Tortoise 2 goes, followed by Flygon, which Confusion follows after. I was hoping for one more hit, though after Rain Dance, we land the hit on ourselves, but we dodge the Muddy Water after, and down goes the Goomy Dragon. Here's Duraludon Gigantamaxes as we're fixated, and instantly knocks us down. Mike comes out to stall with Earthquake, survive the Dynamax turns, and fall to Body Press, but I give Sam a go, so I have a Stone Edge, and a Superpower takes the Mini Dragon building. I would say this remains the champion, but the Marco Cosmos intervenes once again, and this time put every city and town in a bit of a state. So Hop and I go on a quest to tame the Darkest Day, find ancient tools, then it's into the Hammerlock Stadium to go head to head against the Prime Minister. And boy, believe me, I want a tussle. And yes, Soul may still not have evolved yet, but with the flame charges, What? Oh, out with that. Okay, now you're pissing me off. I can't believe I'm struggling with probably the easiest fight going. However, with Sam out, I Dynamax, Max Knuckle to boost my attack, and I get outspired by Gearcox. Why is that a thing? Anyways, it breaks down on turn 2, and Berserker survives, so he takes out my Eagle, with Mike to follow and to hit an Earthquake. All that's left is his Elephant, who wrote Terrasilize in the script. He Dynamaxes, and we do chunky damage. However, so does the Copperajah, and a Mindstorm does finish us off. Despite this, Nori comes out, gets outsped, and hits the Revenge. In every single video, I have never known that fight to be that horrible. Although, having said that, Eternatus remained and was simple enough. And when I mean simple, things took a turn for the worst. Luckily, the dogs resurrect, gives us a helping hand, and defeat the Darkest Day and a Dragon Slain. Rose goes off because he must pay, and now we go off to play. But before we have our say, our little bug evolves to the mighty Volcarona, and about damn time too, because now I'm ready to slay. Ladies and gentlemen, this is indeed the final battle of the run, so last guesses in the comments if you think we could beat the champion of Galar. Let's do this. Aegislash is first against Nori, an instant King Shield reduces my attack, which is not great. However, I plan accordingly. Switch to Mike for free to a Shadow Ball, then King Shields again. I see where this is going. So I switch again, this time to Soul to take the easy Sacred Sword, and burn it. Following up, I set up Quiver Dances, taking huge Shadow Balls in the process before doing the Fiery Dance. Get the special attack boost on top of that. Seismitoad is next and is a quad effective threat, but not for Soul, because a +4 stab Bug Buzz is an Oko, as well as the Haxorus. Oh, and the Cinderace balls were Psychic. It's going so well that the Dragapult also gets outsped and swept. our two aces remained on the field. I get cocky and Dynamax alongside with his Charizard, and a huge Max Mindstorm just falls short. Well, yeah, I got very cocky there. On the plus side, what a sweep!
It's unbelievable, Jeff!
Oh well, that's okay, because after a full restore, a quad-effective Rock Slide from Sam puts it back in the red. We don't live the Wildfire, but with the Dynamax turns over, we take a huge Fire Blast and retaliate with Wild Charge. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how Alder put on the show and reclaimed champion this time in the Galar region. I just want to take a quick minute to thank you all very much for watching. If you did enjoy, then please hit the like button. Check these videos out for more, and so you don't miss any in the future, I'm aiming for 20k at the end of the year. It's doable, but I can't do it without you. So again, if you enjoyed it, it would mean the world if you hit the subscribe button and dinged on that bell. But with that said, I'll see you all in the next one. Thanks, bye bye.